This podcast is brought to you by
Leo the Lion. Slain the mane. Noun. A growth of long hair on the neck of a horse, lion, or other mammal. Guess that means I'm the other mammal? Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to ramble! Welcome to podcast volume 1 of Leo the Lion, Slain the Mane. And we're going to school you on just life in general.
Life in general, yeah. It's come down to this, where instead of kind of formulating some type of plan to keep you listeners interested in what Slane and I, are getting topical about, it's going to be quite literally us talking crap and seeing how long a yarn is.
And then we'll probably chop up some audio and make it work.
Yeah, and then it's going to be fancy. You guys are going to love it. You're going to love it.
So you get to take part, as a listener, you get to take part in not only the naming of the podcast, but the planning of. You get to hear everything. This is as raw as it gets, bro.
This is quite literally as raw as it gets.
Yes.
Your first step in. However this goes might evolve into something different.
So tell me, what have you been doing, bro?
What have I been doing? Oh, that's it, isn't it? So, I mean, we've, both of us have been cracking on at Radio Broadcasting School.
450 Queen Street.
Learning the tricks of the trade, and have found out today that there's not likely to be a class next year.
Yes, this is quite unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's incredibly unfortunate. You know what I was thinking? We've got all these students out here. So for those of you who are unaware, Monday to Thursday are our classes, and then on Friday they bring like a class full of school kids in, you know. And I feel like normally these kids would be prepping for next year, going,
yeah,
I've had a go at that, I liked it, okay, I want to enroll.
Exactly, like they're getting a little taste, a little teaser, and they're saying, this is something that I want to do after I leave school at the end of this year. I'm going to go to Whitidea Radio Broadcasting School. That place was tops.
And in a culinary sense, this is the trimer you get at the supermarket.
Yeah, this is the trial.
Would you like to try this?
Don't try the test meat.
Yeah. Don't drink the apple juice.
Yeah. Just put on that fake moustache and keep coming back and trying that Chardonnay. Yeah. So I mean that's it. So they're gonna probably have to go to Tauranga or I don't know. Do they have something in Wellington? Or...
Yeah. Well, one of the tutors sort of made noises about potentially relocation down to say Manukau or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not entirely sure.
It's an interesting thing because, I mean, let's look at one of the biggest reasons that I can see why the whole place here on 450 Queen Street is going to be... It is 450 Queen Street. No,
it is, bro. Okay. Yeah, you got it good.
Yeah, I don't
where you are.
I don't look at addresses, because I don't drive. I walk. So, what do I need a sign for? But so one of the main reasons that this whole unit, this whole building will be shut down is because... Probably, and this is a bit of guessing, but it's probably because the majority of the classes that are held here at this site are for international students coming in and working towards getting their residency and such. And with COVID, with the lockdown of the borders, there's no future insight as to when people from other countries or students from other countries are going to be able to come over to our country and get in and be able to take these classes. So if that is the crux of their money-making scheme...
That's the bank, that's right, man.
And the radio part is not making as much in terms of students coming in, then they've probably decided to lock the whole place down. But in saying that, when we first started, our first class was the biggest class that Whitidea had. They'd had, I think, 12, or their highest was 18... or 17 students in one intake.
What are we? We're 26 or something?
I think we started... Yeah,
we started at like
26. Yeah.
And so 26 people each paid... about $6.5K to be here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad. It's going to pay for some tutors and some expenses, man.
But I mean, but what it's showing is it's showing growth and interest in the industry. So it's having people, you've got your number of a small amount of we're interested in learning and getting a diploma in radio broadcasting, and then you've got a much larger number the next year. That's proving growth, that there's more interest,
that's
that more
right.
people are going out there.
Anyone looking at this, even from an accounting perspective, that's the idea of any program, any institution, any scheme that's going to turn a profit, be
Yeah,
it big or
growth.
small, is growth. That's right. It's that was this year. Now it's going to be slightly better next year.
Yeah. And I mean, we're speculating. We don't have the numbers behind us. We're not sitting down at the Whitireia kind of meetings down in Wellington and saying, all right, let's look at the numbers. How does this work? Is this actually worth it? The growth might not just might not be worth it in the long run. But again, another point on the whole COVID front, which is probably, I wouldn't say probably, it has caused this building to be shut down, is the whole situation with COVID and the borders. Is that there was a rise in radio listening during the lockdown period.
Absolutely, there was. Radio became, even more so, a staple of the household diet, if you will.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The household diet. I like it.
Man.
Yeah.
And do you know what's actually real nice? Since I recently reinvested in a stereo, an actual stereo, I don't listen to it on my phone anymore. I find it far nicer to turn that stereo on, actually tune it to the frequency. I almost enjoy the nostalgia involved. And, it just plays along in the background. I can still muck around on my phone because the problem being when it's streaming, it doesn't dominate the device, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to do something else, you got to pause that,
Yeah, you want to watch a video or something quickly.
Yeah, that's
Somebody
it.
sent you a clip and you want to hear that while you're listening to the radio. Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, and that's kind of a part of it too. So people have been listening to more radio. So there will be more interest in people joining the radio scene. I myself chose to come to Whitireia and study radio because in my mind, radio doesn't become obsolete. We live in a world where technology leaps. I mean, it progresses in bounds and leaps. It has exponential growth, right? And so, and that just means that it gets, faster and faster. The new phone that's coming out is going to be coming out the next day after the last launch. Like, it's going to get faster and faster and faster. And so what happens there is that a whole lot of industries become obsolete due to the speed of technology changing. As an example, like the Video Easy, going out and getting a VCR. You got your VCR and you get your tape, right? And you go and hire that and you put it in your thing, and then DVDs came along. So the whole place turned to DVDs, and then they started handing out DVDs, and they weren't doing so well. And then that what was that? That whole business, Fatso. Do you remember Fatso?
I remember Fatso.
So I used to get Fatso.
Did you?
Yeah, and you just get DVDs sent in the mail to you. And then you chuck them on and watch them.
That's very reminiscent of the old Virgin Record days.
Yeah, well now...
Richard Branson.
Yeah, sending them out. Give a tease. But I mean, I'll tell you what, that went obsolete real quick because, streaming started coming out.
It's still physical. That's the problem.
And so the entire stores of Video Easies and all of them were wiped out. Completely wiped out. So if you had planned at some point to have, if you'd have planned to have, a video store in your future because you were like, this is the future, you were getting involved in a company that was going to become obsolete. So I chose radio because I thought to myself, radio is consistent. It has been consistent since the first time they opened up the airwaves.
Dawn of radio, mate.
Yeah. It was either, people like Hodaki getting out in the boat and doing it themselves and bringing the music to the people, and there was kind of a rebellious sense to it. There was a whole lot, but it's also so much information is handed down through radio when you need it, and it can't be knocked out like other things. Like Vodafone's not going to have a problem and all of their network go down and then radio will stop. It just means you won't be able to stream radio. The radio waves will still be out there, still running.
And like probably 95% of cars have a tuner that could receive the local stations.
Yeah.
Therefore, that keeps that like you say, that part of the market open.
That's right. And national emergencies, we rely solely on radio for it. So
that's right.
You think about the Christchurch earthquakes, the Christchurch shootings. Unfortunately, there's two Christchurch examples, those poor buggers. But they, people just started tuning into the radio, and some of it they were just listening to the radio all day because they wanted to get that update as soon as it came in. I remember the mosque shootings, and I was listening to the radio all day.
I was overseas listening to New Zealand
radio
when it happened.
See, there it is. And so I thought to myself, I will go study radio. Now, I thought I might not end up in radio, but I would have all the skills so I could join any faction of a radio station and help.
That's right.
But I'd also learn all these other skills in terms of, post-production, in terms of recording voice techniques like we've been learning from our mentor, Barry.
Shout out to Beza.
Shout out to Beza. And of course, these amazing teachers that we have here. And yeah, I am schmoozing a little bit because, they're the ones who are listening to this podcast. Give me more money. Wait, no, you guys don't pay me.
Study link, pay me.
Yeah. Look how nice I am to the teachers. No, but they're a passionate bunch of teachers with a huge, you put these guys in a room together and you get a huge wealth of knowledge.
You get magic, mate.
Yeah, they work really well. They're lovely
before.
too. Yeah. Oh, you said that before?
I was talking to our journalism tutor, Murden, the Welsh wizard of journalism. Yes. That's the reason I say that, because Murden is actually the Welsh term for Merlin.
Yeah.
And so I put it all together.
That was a hard name to remember when we first started. And you said, just think Merlin and roll your R's or something.
Merlin with double D's, man.
No, that's right though. There is, they're really easy to get along with. But I think in a lot of us know and understand this, that you've had teachers who've lost some kind of passion.
Well, that's the point I made with them before. I said it's such a shame that this is happening, because I've done a bit of study in my life, and you guys are literally the best and most enthusiastic tutors or teachers, if you will, of any I've ever met.
Well, that's right.
They actually want to help the students be better.
They
aren't just here to collect the paycheck.
So they're not only just passionate about their craft. You talk to Meriden about writing or words in general, and he has a passion for specific words and the way they're woven together.
Well, think of Thought Bubble Thursday. That's his creation.
Yeah.
Everyone pick a word and chat about it.
That's just good. That's just good mental health, that is.
It really is.
Yeah. And a day to kind of open up and see that other people are going through a hard time as well, and as well as you getting to share what you're going through and, vent a little bit if you need to. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
They should do that in every office.
It doesn't have the scumbag effect of a comments section.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because I feel like everyone who's having a hard time just puts it on Insta or Facebook or something, But yeah, the Thought Bubble Thursday is generally of a positive note. And then there's none of this. Like I say, none of the scumbag comments and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, and that's good because
no used cars for sale in the corner.
If somebody was to say, I'm stressed out, I feel like I'm overloaded with work and things like that, it's, not only are you getting to vent, but then you get, a tutor or another student who says, it's all good, man. I'm also stressing out, but I've got a plan for it. We're just going to take it step by step. We're going to eat that elephant a little piece at a time, and which is a Meriden saying. And
eat the elephant. I've eaten donkey and horse.
Yeah, I don't think you should eat elephants. Anyway, but that's the kind of that's coming from Leo the lion. Don't eat elephants, man. They'll stomp your ass.
Trust me, I know. Down at the watering hole, man. It gets rough.
Oh, it's dangerous. Yeah, you pick that weak one. And you wait.
Maybe we'll avoid elephants. Maybe we'll eat buffalo. I like buffalo wings. They're made from buffalo.
Oh, good.
I'll be quite honest.
This is a brilliant segue.
I thought buffalo wings were made from buffaloes.
Did you really?
I actually thought that until last year.
Last year?
I'd never eaten a buffalo wing, and I got them, and I'm like, these are chicken. What is this?
Can I do my podcast with somebody who's got a bit more sense?
Good luck, mate.
Just some common sense, just a little bit.
I'm the epitome of common sense in this classroom.
Okay, hold on. So we're just gonna park the whole Fitzy Day closing. Just get it. This to me is far more interesting. Where on the buffalo did you think the little wings came from?
I didn't think of it. I just thought it was meat, and somehow, I'd never even seen one. I'd never even bothered to Google it. I just saw it on the menu at various, pubs or whatever. And
you didn't think
buffalo? Yeah, nice.
You didn't see the little chicken wing. You were just like, oh, buffalo wings. So you couldn't imagine the actual food itself.
Completely did not even think twice about it.
So you're thinking these are probably little shaved slices,
little shaved bits of buffalo, really, really dragging the piece of steak out.
We're just like, that's amazing. They grabbed the bones of a chicken and then they squeezed a whole lot of buffalo meat around it and then deep fried it. That's so delicious. Weird though, tastes just like chicken.
I know, right? Everything tastes like chicken though. That's an expression. Do you know what else tastes like chicken? Crocodile tastes like chicken.
Well, yeah.
Fishy chicken. What was the other one, the weird one I ate?
Fishy chicken. That sounds off.
Nah, sorry, I put that wrong. It's kind of... It's like a flavoursome chicken, I guess you'd call it. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
But it's not fishy. It's definitely not fishy.
chicken.
It's definitely
Flavoursome.
not. It's definitely not fishy. But you like, maybe it's just because you know you're eating a croc. Like that's maybe where you're thinking about. This should taste like this. And
You're kind of having a placebo effect about its aquatic nature.
Yeah, I think so. You know, speaking of aquatic nature and those sort of things, you know what's an interesting creature?
What's that?
A platypus.
Oh yeah.
And do you know, I went to the reptile park over
they're
in,
weird.
Central Coast, so like, I don't know, 100 or so kilometres north of Sydney or whatever it is. Platypuses, when they first discovered them in Australia...
Are they platypuses or are they platypi?
That's a good question. They only platypi if you eat them.
Oh, yeah, because I immediately did think, like, imagine a pie. Yeah, and was like...
Yeah, what do you want, mate? I've got mince and cheese, steak and cheese, or platypi.
Do they taste like fishy beef? Like, they taste like 3 different animals.
when they sent the first specimen of a platypus back to England, you know, hey, old boy, look at this thing I found.
Oh, of course, yeah, because
they thought it was fake, man.
Yeah, of
They're
course.
like, this isn't real. Like, you've just stitched
together.
animals together, you sick people.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, old boy, this is as we found it. Present this to the Queen.
One of the prisoners we'd left stranded on that island found this. Oh, he's just trying to get out of his sentence.
You shall not.
Demons. I mean, yeah, that is actually one of the stranger animals. I mean, it's got a beak like a flat-billed duck.
It's got
It's got a body like a beaver and a beaver tail.
yes. It's also venomous.
It has venomous. It has spurs on its back legs like a rooster that are venomous. But then it has, because it's a marsupial, it has a pouch like a kangaroo.
And yet it swims underwater. Like it primarily swims underwater.
Yeah, it lives like a beaver. You know, it just hangs out under there.
It is the craziest set. It's like...
Eats pond scum.
It's like, you know, at like the beginning of, say, an RPG game where you create a character.
Oh, boy, do I.
And there's, I know you do. Hence the reference, right? And
are we gonna talk gaming, Slane? Is that what we're gonna? Can we make
dude,
this whole podcast about
I would
gaming?
love to talk gaming.
Yeah,
That'd be man.
I will go ham.
But it's like, you know, when you click the random button and you get the most stupid looking character come through.
Oh yeah.
You're like, because there's always like, and it's always fun to do, man.
Yes.
You're like, what do you got for me today, buddy Bethesda? What about him?
Okay, so if you don't play RPGs like I do every waking moment, I feel like actually my CV is just a real
plethora of a skill tree. It's a skill tree.
It's an IRL RPG I'm playing with my CV, and I'm trying to level it up. But so in a role playing game on a computer, you go in and you create your character and you get all your options. Like you can change the hair, you can change the skin tone, the face. Then some of them go really deep, like the brows, the nose, the cheekbones,
the brow of the nose.
I played one that was that you change your endowment.
What
and
is?
I mean, you know, downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, how big you and small you were.
How do they represent that? What is it like? You've got breakfast sausage, something, and then eggplant.
Honestly, it just has a slide bar. You can just slide it up. But it's quite a funny thing because you slide it too far.
Hang on, which game is this that you need to worry about endowment of the player?
This was Conan Exiles. But
the caveman one.
Yeah, the caveman one. But I tell you, so it was when you as a male. When you are picking endowment size, and to be honest, you don't have to do it. So a lot of games I just skip this.
You just flick straight to the big one, like,
well, because you
look
do,
at
right?
me.
You do. You go to both extremes to see what you've got.
It was the little one, like a cold day in the bath.
And then you think, but then you think to yourself, do I give myself the dream willy, or do I give myself my own willy? And then you kind of get stuck in this kind of headspace of like, you know, it's almost if you go bigger than you actually are, you're kind of kicking yourself.
You shoot yourself in the foot, so to speak.
Yeah. Do you go smaller so you feel better about yourself? You've got this. You're playing a game with this hulking caveman, but hey, who's really bigger? You know, like. But so yeah, I skipped that. So
I ask?
What Slane's saying on the fact of the platypus thing is that when you're creating a character and you have all these options, you'll just have a button that randomizes all of the options.
Entirely randomizes. In case you can't be bothered.
So it just clicks and it creates the character. And sometimes when you get all these options like length of arm or, you know, breadth of chest or size of endowment, you get a really, really weird character thrown together. And that it does feel like God's been playing a bit of a life RPG with us.
100%.
And he was just like, Hey, you didn't do the dishes, honey. And he's like, oh, yeah, just a minute. I just need to make the platypus. I've written its name in. No. You said you're doing the dishes now.
Random.
I've really got to do it. Random, buddy.
Sorry, buddy.
And he got a beak, a beaver, a rooster, and all the bits of mine.
All who acts like a fish.
Yeah, he's all like, I live in the water too. Of course you do.
I think that's all we've got time for today, but I believe there's a whole lot more to say on Platypi and endowment sliders. So,
yes.
Thank you for tuning in to the Leo the Lion Slain the Main podcast, and we'll catch you next time.